The entire journey of Eastern wisdom starts with, it says, Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. Literal translation is that real self is knowledge of reality, it is infinity, and it is unlimited happiness. It means that the entire journey of Eastern wisdom is based on the knowledge. And now what happens if the mind is going back and forth? No, the science is full of right knowledge, but this mindfulness and meditation is not that way, it is something abstract. So what is happening to the mind? The mind is not learning the principles and it is not testing the validity through my intellect. I just casually say, okay, let us do the practice and I feel relaxed. No, I must apply the knowledge. Knowledge now. Second point is to be understood clearly. Knowledge is nothing but it is awareness and experience. Are you there? Yes. How do you know it? You are aware. Do you have an experience? You are listening to me? Yes. Awareness, knowledge, and experience. Now, simple understanding. Very good. Knowledge is realized in stages. What it means? I like this car. I want to drive, but I don't know driving. So that knowledge of the driving is realized in stages. Now see the other point. I don't know the principle of driving and let me drive a car. That is what is happening to our mind. That is why, that is the reason the duality and the conflict are still present in the mind. Why? The knowledge is realized in stages, and that knowledge we overlook. You don't learn driving in 1 hour and start driving on a road. Same way, the seed does not become a tree overnight. Same thing, the highest state of mindfulness where we discover what? We discover the permanent state of happiness that transcends all my anxiety, duality, and a conflict that has to be realized in stages. Now, you see that how much research, I would say how much thought our great masters have done. Is knowledge a power? Normally we say yes. Knowledge is that power in Eastern wisdom that liberates me from stress and suffering, includes anxiety, duality, conflict, and host of other problems. At the same time, one master declares the knowledge is bondage and knowledge is suffering. And that applies to you and many other people. We will understand it. So it means, if we go by the teachings of the master, we say the knowledge is that power by which we discover our true nature that brings an end to the suffering. So what is that knowledge? And the other master says the knowledge is the cause of the bondage and the suffering. What is that knowledge? So it means there are two types of knowledge. Knowledge is power and the knowledge is weakness. We start understanding. Right knowledge is the power. Wrong knowledge is a liability and causes suffering. Simple understanding. So we have to understand what is this right knowledge and what is the... You have to listen to this again and again and ask the mind. Mind, are you on the path to the right knowledge or are you on the path of wrong knowledge? And the Eastern wisdom promises you that within a week, that age-old challenges will disappear. Right knowledge, wrong knowledge. We said knowledge is power, knowledge is weakness. What is that knowledge which is power? Now let me make a statement coming from the teachings of the Master. Any knowledge that promotes detachment, any knowledge that promotes dispassion is the right knowledge. And any knowledge that promotes attachment, any knowledge that promotes likes and dislikes, any knowledge that triggers the information from my past impression is the wrong knowledge. That will cause you the suffering. Now see, wrong knowledge. Knowledge becomes the weakness. What is that knowledge? I have been suffering from stress for the last 90 years. No, just making a statement. 90 years. Now you start doing something, then what happens? The past impression triggers, it creates a thought, come on, I have tried everything. It doesn't work. Is it right knowledge or wrong knowledge? You have to check it. You have to throw this wrong knowledge from the mind. Return to the right knowledge. The right knowledge is that knowledge which promotes detachment, which promotes dispassion. So now that knowledge, wrong knowledge enters into the mind. Instead of throwing it away, you start living with it, and that causes the suffering and the anxiety and the reaction and a long list. We have been understanding that this Eastern wisdom is nothing but an instrument of knowledge to discover my true nature that is full of permanent peace and happiness. So this is the right knowledge, and the mind doesn't stick to this right knowledge. Instead, based on its past experiences, it says, no, okay, I feel relaxed after doing the practice, but after some time, same challenges returns to my life. But the Master is saying this knowledge has to be realized in stages. So we miss that point. And when you miss the point, are you getting it? Very simplified. I oversimplified. Now make your knowledge a weakness or a liability, then you are continuously suffering. Make your knowledge the right knowledge that becomes the power, leads to the freedom. Make your knowledge as a pastime, as an intellectual exercise, then the mind continues to trigger the past impression and it leads you to the same state of suffering. Make knowledge and information, then the mind claims I know and still we know nothing. There are a couple of stages. Understand it clearly. I made a statement that we will understand in the following session. What it says, Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma, that self, my true nature, is knowledge of the reality, it is infinity, and it is unlimited happiness. Now, don't believe it, but allow the mind to accept it as a hypothesis, as a principle. And when you practice it, keep that wisdom in your mind. When you keep that wisdom during the practice, all the past impressions are released. The knowledge that becomes the weakness, it is stored as a memory in our life. In Tantra, in one of the texts, it says, Jnanam Bandha, knowledge is bondage, knowledge causes suffering. What knowledge? Oh, I have been having a stress for the last 20 years. I have tried everything. No, we are transcending the mind. You have not tried everything. Knowledge is a power that creates a dispassion. Even if I am suffering for the last 20 years from the stress. So when there is a dispassion, mind loosens the knot of that suffering, experiences from the past, and the past is returned, past is gone. I live in the present, and that knowledge comes from the Eastern wisdom. So when that knowledge of the permanent state of the peace is realized in stages, realized, I'm stressing, realized in stages, it brings an end to the suffering. I realize now that I can drive. I'm qualified to drive because I have a driving license. I passed the examination because I understood the principles, and I keep that principles at the time of driving. Same thing applies. Right knowledge. I keep that wisdom in the mind at the time of doing the practice, and it helps me to realize the permanent state of the peace and happiness. I'm taking you to the advanced journey of this mindfulness. One more point before we start doing it. What is that point? People give too much of stress on the steps of the practices. Master says, now say, for example, you sit in the car and you start pedaling the car without starting. You start braking the car, you start moving the steering, and the steering will not move. These are the steps of the driving. But if I have a driving license, the knowledge comes there. What is that knowledge? First I have to start, so that I feel this pressure and the heaviness in the steering becomes so light. The pedal becomes so smooth, the brake becomes so smooth to apply. See that? I close the door through the knowledge. So what our master says, that knowledge must be there during the practice of mindfulness. So what is happening? the mind is laying too much of stress on the steps, and we miss the knowledge. And when you miss the knowledge, the past impression triggers again. It goes back to the same thing. It creates a habitual practice. Every step is a habitual, and when it makes every step as a habitual, the mind does not discover that inner peace and happiness. Look at it. I'm not saying anything about cult, dogma, belief, religion, God. Everything is tested on reasoning. We are understanding of even the subtle steps. So when the master says that the knowledge is realized in stages, means that knowledge has to be understood, kept in the mind while following the steps. The steps are secondary, the knowledge is the primary. When the knowledge is the primary, knowledge becomes power that liberates us from the suffering. That suffering includes anxiety, stress, reaction, duality, conflict, anger, hesitation, and long list. Now, the mind experiences that state of permanent happiness, love, and wisdom. So let us pay attention to the knowledge and see how it works. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. Close your eyes and the position of the body. Close your eyes and the position of the body. Just let the sit or lie down, whatever is very comfortable to you. It doesn't matter whether you're lying down. What is very important, the knowledge part, is the position of the body. How simple it is. Position of the body. And you are applying that knowledge in the step. So what is that knowledge? The position has to be steady. 1. The body has to be comfortable. Why? Knowledge part now. The mind has to face inside instead of outside. How do I know it? The knowledge part. Thoughts are entering into my mind is facing outside. Even when the mind has a lot of thoughts, you just find that knowledge, that awareness. Let this mind look inside, even when it has a lot of thoughts. How simple it is. Why it is so simple? Because you apply the knowledge. No, I have lot of thoughts. Let it be. No, I hear the sound. Let it be. See that? There might be 10 people and I say, look at the person A. You look at it. This is knowledge. And now we go to the second part of that knowledge. Where is that second part of the knowledge? How simple. That is what I say. What is the knowledge part? Knowledge is your experience. So in being comfortable, we pay more attention to the knowledge. You look at the neck joint. Then what is your experience? A sensation. Being comfortable and steadiness. How simple it is. Let the mind move to the shoulder joints. Knowledge, experience, what is that? That is sensation. Okay, that is being comfortable. That is the sense of steadiness. You experience awareness, knowledge, and experience. Is the mind still thinking about the past? Then the mind is triggering. See that? So even if it is happening, you continue the journey with the knowledge. So knowledge part is move the mind on the waist. Feel the sensation, being comfortable. Experiences, feeling, sensation, being comfortable, and steadiness. We don't pay attention here. What I stress that right knowledge is the power that liberates me from suffering. Move the mind on the knee joints. We are doing the same steps, understand. But this time, it is knowledge is 90% and the step is 10%. How simple it is. Looking at the entire body and what is the knowledge? Feeling the sensation in the body, experiencing being comfortable and steadiness. How simple it is. The entire body. Feeling the sensation, being comfortable, and experiencing the steadiness. Am I asking something, demanding something? No. Knowledge does not need any practice. It is here and now. Now let us move to the second step that we have been talking about, being carefree. So what is the knowledge part? Any thought that comes, let it come, let it go. Now that is the knowledge part. Okay? If that is the knowledge part, so knowledge is more important. Thoughts are coming, I become aware. That is my experience, the thought is coming. So what should I do? Let it come, let it go. Let the thought come and go. Thoughts are coming and going like the traffic on the road. That is the main point, my friend. Understand that. So when I know what I know, traffic is moving, I'm standing across the road. What I have to do? I have to do nothing. So I'm watching these thoughts that are coming from my past impression. So what I said, right knowledge promotes dispassion. What is that dispassion? Who cares? Let any thought come. The mind says, no, you have been stressed, let it come. Mind says you are happy, let it come. Let it go. Now see the knowledge part. The body is still. Okay, body is still. Very good. Let it be still. So let us see. Body is still. Now we feel a bit of relaxation, and the sensation is deeper. What is that? This is my experience. What is this experience? I'm aware of it. And what is this awareness and experience? This is the knowledge. So let me move with that knowledge. You see that knowledge is 90%. Step is 10%. So look at the head and the neck. We are doing the same steps totally in a different way. In a way that will help us to advance deeper. So, look at the head and the neck and bring in the knowledge. Check it. You experience sensation, relaxation and stillness. The mind will, the old mind, having habitual previous experiences, will challenge you subconsciously. Come on. How can I have an experience I did nothing? See that. So what should you continue? Let me continue my journey with the knowledge. Look at the right arm. If I say it little deeper, move the mind on the right arm and feel the experience, sensation and relaxation and stillness. How easy it is, my friend. Move the mind on the left arm. I trust you keep that awareness, means you keep that knowledge, means you have an experience of sensation, relaxation and stillness. I stressed upon one part that knowledge is 90% and 10% is the step. I can modify hundreds of steps to awaken to that knowledge. Move the mind on the chest, on the rib cage. You are aware of it. Awareness means knowledge. Knowledge means experience. You experience sensation, relaxation and stillness. Move the mind on the belly. Feel the sensation. Relaxation and stillness. Move the mind on the right leg. Feel the sensation, relaxation and stillness. Move the mind on the left leg. Feel the sensation, relaxation and stillness. Pay attention. When I say sensation, relaxation and stillness, it is already there whether I say it or not. But we are asking the mind to realize it consciously. What did we talk? Knowledge is realized in stages. The entire body from the top of the head to the toes, slowly moving it, mentally moving it, and you experience sensation, relaxation and stillness in the entire body. Now in that state, again we pick up the knowledge part. Look at the breath that is going in and out. Is it not knowledge? Yes. Are we doing anything with the breath? No. Another part of the knowledge. Are we changing the rate and the rhythm of the breath? No. Finished. So what I live into that knowledge, awareness and experience. What is that knowledge and experience? The breath is going in and breath is coming out. What a simple way. We are not asking the mind to work hard. We are not asking the mind to go anywhere. That is the part of the knowledge. If that knowledge is not there in the mind at this moment of the practice, what will happen? The mind will pick up the past. When it will pick up the past, then what will happen? It goes into the same routine, habitual. And it will say, what will happen? Nothing will happen. We are understanding our own mind. Understanding our own mind and leaving that part of the mind which causes the problem. Is it not the right knowledge? Yes. So that is why we are aware of the breath. It is not a focus on the breath. The breath is coming and going good. That is how I translate that into a step. So it means now we have understood that this is what that means. That simply means awareness, knowledge and experience. Looking at the breath coming and going, very good. No change, very good. How simple it is. How simple it is. As if you are doing nothing. In order to know yourself, do you do anything? Yes, I know myself. Why to repeat it? I'm here. So, awareness of the... See that. Awareness, knowledge and experience. That is the key point here. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Recitation at the concluding session. Just check it. Is the mind is in a hurry to return, or the mind wants to remain as such? Knowledge part. Bring your mind to the right hand, your mind on the left hand. Raise both your palms, place it on your eyes, open the eyes inside, know your experiences, bring the hands down.